He's a real big dude.
Arachnoform, 1 green and 1, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, reach, and is every creature type. I can see it being worthwhile for the every creature type thing, I guess, if that's some kind of a bonus. But I don't think it looks very good. It's Gagny-ish, +2/+2 for 2. Broken Wings, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying for a green and 2. Probably just a sideboard card, maybe main deckable though, don't know. Decent amount of equipment stuff. Elderleaf Mentor, green and 3 for a 3/2. When Elderleaf Mentor enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token, and it is an elf warrior itself. You got something that needs a bunch of elves, maybe this is okay, but its stats are terrible. 3/2 for 4 with a 1/1. I don't like that for the stats. If you have some equipment, need multiple creatures or something, I don't know. Maybe it'd be fine somewhere. Glittering Frost, green and 2, snow enchantment aura, enchant land. Enchanted land is snow. When enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. I like this. This card's awesome. I didn't know there was this kind of thing in the set. This is the kind I hadn't seen this card before. This is going to be like a first pick for a snow deck. If there's not anything like busted in the pack. I think this is the card here. Not Vold Recluse, green and 2, 4/2 reach. Interesting card here. Usually these spiders have shit power and big toughness. 4/2 for 3, I mean, I've always not hated. It feels like green didn't want to beat down so much in this set. It felt like green wanted to be more rampy and defensive, and now they've gone and made the spider a 4/2, which is kind of fucking weird. I don't know. I'll have to play with it, but it's probably nothing special. The Grizzled Outrider. Vanilla 5/5 for a 4 and a green. It is an elf warrior. I assume it's filler. Guardian Gladewalker. Green and 1 for a 1/1 changeling. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. You know, 2/2 for 2 changeling, or put something bigger. It's probably pretty good. Certain decks are probably going to really want this card. Otherwise, it's Iron Shell Beetle. Horizon Seeker. Green 2 for a 3/2. Human Warrior. Boast for 1 and a green. Search for a basic land card. Put it into your hand and shuffle. You know, I think it's pretty good. You know, later in the game, it's a vanilla 3/2 for 3, kind of. If you know, you're going to probably run into something bigger. Early in the game, though, you can probably get your land with it. I think it's not great. Better if you're splashing. Find a snow land, of course. I think it's pretty mediocre, but it'll probably see some play. But I think you need to be like... You want to be splashing and stuff to play it. Yeah, I agree, but... That's its ceiling, right? I think it'll see more play than it should, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, though. I mean, if you draw it early, it's pretty good. They have to trade with it, basically. I might be underrating this a little bit. But I think it's fairly mediocre. We'll see. I'm not going to know that till I play it, man. But it looks like it could be, from what I can tell. I wouldn't rule it out. Ice-Hide Troll, green and 2 for a 2/3 snow creature. 2 snow mana, it gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. So you attack with it first, and that doesn't matter. But if they kill it and you use this, you won't be able to block with it. Card seems great. Good blocker and a good attacker. Seems real good to me. Jaspera Sentinel, 1 mana, 1/2 reach. Tap an untapped creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. I never like these cards. It's a high price to pay for an elf. I mean, if you got the other, if you elves matter, you got the thing making elf tokens or something, and you got big stuff to ramp into. I don't know. It seems bad to me. I don't like it. I rate it piss, but people probably, maybe once in a blue moon, it'll be correct to play it. But you'll probably see it a lot. King Harold's Revenge, green and 2 sorcery. Until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control and gains trample. It must be blocked this turn if able. Oh, target creature. Okay, gets +1/+1. I'll have to play with this. I don't think it seems awful, but I'll have to play with it. Well, sorcery doesn't matter because it has to be blocked, right? Oh, they can just block, not blocked by everything, blocked by something. Yeah, this card doesn't seem very good. It can be okay in a pinch. It's kind of like a mini enlarge. But didn't you get to pick what they blocked with that? I don't remember. It doesn't seem very good. Mammoth Growth, 2 and a green instant. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Or Foretell for 1 green. I think this is a playable card, and depending on how much trample you have, it might be a very good card. I don't know how much... I don't remember how much trample there is. I'm sure some games will end with this and Run Amok in combination. But this guy seems good. Looks like a fine card. Masked Vandal, a green and 1 for a 1/3 changeling. When it enters the battlefield, you can exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. And that's not until this leaves play or anything like that. This thing, like, I'm trying to decide if I want to play this in my main deck, though. Like, if I'm not a changeling type matters thing. Because they're never going to have, like, an artifact out that early and you have a creature in your graveyard. So you're going to have to hold this thing for a while. It's a good sideboard card, at least. But I don't know if it makes a non-like changeling type deck for the main deck, or if it's very good otherwise. I don't know. I don't know how much better this is than just a Naturalize in the main deck. Yeah, there are a ton of sagas. I forgot about that. Oh, I know you can just play it as a 1/3 for 2. I know that. But I don't think that's something you want to be doing with a card very much. Like, I give a 1/3 changeling for 2 a rotten grade. Good early as a 2-drop? I don't know if that's a good way to look at it. In my mind. Good early as a 2-drop if you're a changeling type deck, maybe. Is the way I'm looking at it. And super undesirable early if you just randomly chuck it into a green deck. Oh, for sure. But if you're just chucking this thing into any green deck, I'm not so sure that it's going to pay off for you. I'm just trying to figure out how... Yeah, Royal Mage is definitely a thing that happens. And there are a lot of 2/1s. There were quite a bit of 2/1s running around. It's probably better than I think it is. 1/3 might be decent in this format. Ravenous Lindworm. Green, green 4 for a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. So this is a reprint of that one thing, right? It's a worm. From what I've seen, this looks bad in this format. I probably would have thought that other thing looked bad, though, too, when I looked at that set, so... I don't know. Play with it and find out. There is a... If there's, like, a decent amount of, like, red decks that are trying to burn you out at the end, it's going to be a little bit better. I haven't seen much to make me think I'm going to want to play this very often. I ended up thinking Honey Mammoth was a good card. I didn't play that deck much because I didn't like green, but I thought it was a good card. From what I've seen, it hasn't seemed like it's going to be a very good Honey Mammoth format. I don't know. I don't really know what makes me think that. It just don't see it. Don't play it and find out. It is what it is. Roots of Wisdom, 1 and a green sorcery. Mill 3 cards and return a land card or elf card from your graveyard to your hand. If you can't, draw a card. Alright, I like this. I like this even in a snow deck. Just like, you don't usually have a lot of 2-drops sometimes. Look for a snow land. If you don't find anything, you're just drawing a card. I don't know. I think you'd want it in a deck with elves or snow stuff. Kind of, mostly. Otherwise, it's probably just a 2-mana cycler way more than not. Serulf's Packmate. Green and 3 for a 3/3 wolf. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Okay. And you can foretell it for a green and 1. Well, this thing's awesome. 3/3 draw a card for 4, and you can foretell it if that's in your curve better. This thing's nice, of course. Got to be one of the better green commons, I would think. Yeah, this is nice. Sculptor of Winter. A green and 1 for a 2/2 snow creature elf rogue. Tap, untap, target snowland. Yeah, this card's awesome. Super good card for the snow deck here. So I like this. Snakeskin Veil. 1 green instant. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. An upgrade to the Ranger's Guile, at least. Get a counter. I haven't seen much at all that matters for counters, except the obvious. Your creature has a counter on it. Certainly seems fine to run 1 or 2 of these. It seems like green might have some stuff worth protecting, too. Like, its creatures are doing more than just attacking. Because, I mean, +1/+1's a pretty bad combat trick. For the most part, but you know, you protect it from spells and stuff is where the real bonus comes in. I think it's good. Struggle for Skimfar, green and 3 sorcery. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then that creature fights. And you can foretell it for 1 green. So it's basically that card from Eldraine, Outmuscle, but you can't get Indestructible. But you can foretell it. It's probably good. I don't think you want a bunch of these in your deck. Hunt the Weak, yeah. It is Hunt the Weak. I think it's pretty good. Again, I don't like a bunch of these though. Beers thinks it's pretty great. The foretell on it. I mean, I guess I'm not super impressed by this. We'll have to see. Blizzard Brawl, 1 green mana, snow sorcery. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, the creature you control gets +1/+0 and indestructible until end of turn. Those creatures fight. Now, yeah, that card is awesome in a snow deck. Yeah, it's at 1 mana. You really do need to have the snowlands, though, or just a huge creature. But yeah, this card will be great sometime. Boreal Outrider, green 2, snow creature, elf warrior, 3/2 for 3. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if snow was spent on any of that spell's... If snow of any of that spell's colors was spent to cast it, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. I don't know. I don't think this is going to play out very well. I think your snow deck is generally going to be kind of slow. I think you're going to kind of need to block with your 3-drop 3/2 rather than sit it around. I mean, it's Grumgully basically. Like everything's going to come in with a counter, assuming you have enough snow mana. I just in most snow decks, I don't think it will play out that well. I could be wrong. Elven Bow, 1 green mana, equipment. When Elven Bow enters the battlefield, you can pay 2. If you do, create a 1/1 green elf warrior token, then attach the bow. Creature gets +1/+2 in reach. So for a green and 2, you get a 2/3 reach. Then, after that goes away, you have a bow that equips for 3 and gives a creature +1/+2 in reach. I actually kind of like it. I mean, a 2/3 reach for 3 in a green deck is usually decent. And I tend to, if you have these big creatures, giving them +2 on the defense makes them pretty hard to block. Nah, I actually kind of like it. I don't know what chat's saying. I think this is pretty good. Because, I mean, it's a reasonable... 2/3 for 3 is a reasonable rate anyways. And it's going to be a pain in the ass when, you know, in a green deck. Like, I don't know. Like, what are some of these guys? Like, this 3/2, it becomes a 4/4. Like, that's a big deal. Y'all got me confused talking about all these combos and stuff, though. I know that. Yeah, I like the bow. I mean, I hate equipment in general. I've liked a few of these ones. I think the bow is going to be good in your green decks. Kind of like it. Finn the Fangbearer, green 1/1/3, Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. And I don't think this is very good in draft. I mean, there's not going to be that much Death Touch. I mean, it's a 1/3 Death Touch for 2. That's generally going to be worse than the Viper that's a 1/1 Death Touch for 1. Maybe that's not true, because it can keep picking off 2/2s. I don't think this thing's anything special. Let's put it like that. Litjara Glade Warden, a green and 3 for a 3/3 changeling. Green 2 and tap. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. There's been a decent amount of that stuff, so this milling stuff might have, you know, something to it. So you exile a creature card from your graveyard, put 2 1/1 counters on target creature, and you can do this as a sorcery. I don't think it sounds very good to me. 3/3 for 4. It's got to sit out there for a turn. 3 mana and tap to pump something up. Very slow. I mean, if the board's under control, it can take the game over. It is a changeling, but to me, this is pretty mediocre. I don't desire it, really. You're going to want some cards in your deck that if the board is kind of like, you know, evenish, they can take over, but I would like mine to be better than this, is kind of what I'm getting at. I've seen a lot of things that seem like they can do that. No, I don't think it's an early pick. Path to the World Tree, a green and 1 enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, search for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle. Already going to be good in the snow deck. You can get a snow, whatever. 2 in every color. 1 in white, blue, black, red, green. Sacrifice it. You gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. Target opponent loses 2 life. Path of the World Tree deals 2 damage to up to 1 target creature. You create a 2/2 green bear token. I mean, this card seems great. I think it's fine just as the search, really, in a snow deck. You have that enchantment at common that makes the snow thing produce whatever color. I think this is good. I think it'll trigger some of the time. I don't know. Path Awful Beers? Really? I mean, 2 mana, search a snowland. I don't know. I don't think you want to play it outside of snow, probably. I think it's okay. The Ozolith? What? I mean, it gets you a land, and it sits there, and then if you make it to the late game, it does a lot. Rootless Yew. Green, and 3. 5/4 Tree Folk. When it dies, search your library for a creature card with power or toughness 6 or greater. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. I'm thinking it's going to be bad. I don't know how many creatures you're going to have that this thing can get. I mean, if it so happens that you have a deck with a couple of things that are big toughness or power, it's going to be good. I think you'll want to have... Yeah, I think you'll want to have at least 2 hits for it, and you're not going to want to just jam in bad things. If Sam says there's not that many hits, I'll just go ahead and say it's pretty bad. I mean, I was already leaning that way without knowing. I was going to just basically say if there's not a lot of stuff, you know, pretty sure of it. Yeah, Honey Mammoth is one. I wouldn't really want to play 2 Honey Mammoths just to get to play this guy if I didn't think they're going to be good in my deck. I don't know. It might be okay. If you've got cards you want to play anyways, it's certainly good. Alright, Green Rune. Rune of Might. 1 and a green. Does the thing that runes do. Enchant permanent, draw a card. If enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +1/+1 in trample. And then if it's an equipment, it gets +1/+1 in trample. Seems fine, I guess. I mean, I think this one goes probably just as good on a creature as an equipment. I like the red one on equipment. And I like the white one. I don't know. They're all okay. They're all good. I don't know what to think of it, really. Good card. Spirit of Aldergard. Green 3 for an 0/4. Snow Bear. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a snow land card. Reveal it, put it into your hand. And he gets +1/+0 for each snow permanent you control. Alright, this guy is nice. So he's going to be a 1/4. It's not other. Oh, each other snow permanent. It is. So if you had no other snow when you cast him, he's a 0/4 that turn. And he'll be a 1/4 the next turn. I mean, I think it's going to be better than that. I think it's going to be like a 3/4 that gets you a snow land or a 2/4 or something. Yeah, I like the Snow Bear. He's nice. Good card. Blessing of Frost. Green and 3. We're in the rares now. Snow Sorcery. Distribute X 1/1 counters among any number of creatures you control, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast this spell, so at most 4. Then draw a card for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. I don't know. I'm not sold on this at all. I see it as like give a creature +3/+3, draw a card. Sometimes. Maybe you can pump 2 creatures and draw twice. I don't know. It could be good. I tend to not like... I didn't like Camaraderie. This card's kind of maybe like somewhat similar. Yeah, I'm not big on this. I mean, most of your snow decks are going to be able to give something +2/+2 and turn it into a 4-power creature to draw a card, but 4 mana +2/+2 draw a card is not exactly great. It's pretty bad in a snow deck, I would think, to do that. So yeah, I don't like it much. We'll have to see. I don't know. I mean, I'm not calling it crap, but to me it doesn't seem... I don't know how aggressive these snow decks that are, especially the green ones, they don't seem that aggressive to me. There was a lot of aggressive, like, black snow cards. Threw me a bit for a loop. Elvish Warmaster, green 1, Elf Warrior 2/2 for 2. When one or more other elves enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green elf token. This ability only triggers once a turn. That shouldn't be much of a problem for limited. 7 mana, elves you control get +2/+2 and Death Touch until end of turn. It's a good little 2-drop. It's not like some Mega Bomb, I don't guess, but you can get some tokens. I mean, it's a 2/2 for 2. It's got upside. And the 7 mana ability is nice because it turns all your stuff into actual threats. Isika's Chariot, green 3, artifact vehicle 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 2/2 green cat creature tokens. I'm already, I mean, 4 mana for 2 2/2s. The vehicle would have to be horrible for me not to like it. Whenever a chariot attacks, create a token that's a copy of a token. So when you attack, okay, crew 4. Yeah, I mean, so you're making 2 2/2s, then you essentially tap them to crew it, and when it attacks, you get another 2/2, and yeah. I like this thing. I think it seems good to me. I like it. The equipment's basically free, you know? You get 2 2/2s for 4. Which is decent. In Search of Greatness, green enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell with your from your hand with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the highest converted mana cost among other permanents you control without paying its mana cost. If you don't, scry 1. So you play this thing for 2. You scry on turn 3. You play a 3-drop on turn 3. You're allowed to play a 4-drop for free on turn 4. Which will benefit you if you have anything else to cast as well. It's a little scry engine otherwise. I don't know. I think it might actually be good. I think it might be good. And it's the kind of card I generally hate. I don't know. The fact that I don't think it sucks has me wondering because I generally hate cards like this. Now, obviously, it's never going to be a good middle of the game. I mean, you're going to get scry every turn, but I don't think that's enough to be worth a card. So it has to be good enough in the early game to make up for that in your deck. And it's double green. It's probably rarely going to be correct to play it in your deck, the more I think about it. But I think in the right deck, it could actually be pretty damn good. I don't know. I think you'd have to be kind of like close to mono green with a lot of 3 and 4 and 5 drop stuff. That is true. I forgot on that. Yeah, it's not... once you put that 4 drop out, then you can't use it again for unless you have a 5. Yeah. No, it definitely doesn't count itself. It'd be pretty good if it did that. Just a 3 drop for free. Yeah, I don't like it. The more I think about it. You can only put one of a casting cost out once until that creature dies, basically. It's true, I guess, but how many 1-drops are you going to need to play for free in draft? Yeah, I don't like it. But whatever. Spent a lot of time on that one. Jorn, God of Winter, green and 2 for a 3/3 snow creature god. When it attacks, untap each snow permanent you control. I'm going to say that this side's not amazing. I mean, it's a 3/3 for 3 that counts as snow. I don't know how often it's just going to get in there. And I mean, it gives all creatures vigilance 1 attack at least. It's certainly not bad, but I'm not blown away by this side. Besides, like, a decent creature. Other side, 1 blue-black. So you're going to need to really be 3 colors to play this card. You're going to want to play both sides, I guess. Snow Artifact. For 3 mana, tap. You may play target snow permanent card from your graveyard this turn. If you do, it enters tapped. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, this card's good, of course, because what I'm thinking is this is going to end up getting blanked kind of later on, so it's just a 3/3 for 3. But of course, if you draw it later on, you just play the Rhyme Staff. So yeah, good card, very good card. Kaldheim, God of Kinship. Green, green 2 for a 2/4, and it has a flip side as well. As long as you control 3 or more legendary creatures, probably not going to happen. Kaldheim gets +4/+2 and has vigilance, so it would be a 6/6 vigilance. Has an ability 1 in green, tap it. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a legendary creature card from among them. Put them into your hand. I don't think this side looks very good. You'd have to have quite a few legendaries. Different side. 1 in a green, the Ringheart Crest, the legendary artifact. As the Ringheart Crest enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Green and tap. Add green. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell, the chosen type, or a legendary. Okay, this card is awful. This is terrible. The ring, right? Just horrendous. So yeah, I mean, you're getting a 2/4 for 4 if you have a 2nd or 3rd legendary creature in your deck. It's pretty cheap to look for them. I mean, I would play this for sure with 2 other legendaries, maybe with just 1. If it's a good one. I mean, a 2/4 for 4 isn't the worst. And if they don't kill it, you'll probably eventually find your other one. But yeah, I wouldn't pick it early. Who's your Jeff? Thank you for the subscription.
I'm the best. Whether you like it or not, you're looking at the greatest.
Old Growth Troll. Triple green 4/4. Trample. When Old Growth Troll dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with Enchant Forest you control. Enchanted Forest has tap, add green, green, and 1 in tap. Sack this land, create a tap 4/4 troll creature. Oh, this is, I mean, you got to be heavy green. I'd like to think this could be constructed playable, potentially. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe a 4/4 for 3 just ain't good enough, but it's a 4/4 for 3 that comes back as another 4/4 for 3, or for less than 3. I mean, you could play it like if you play that green enchantment that enchants a snow land or whatever, or makes a land a snow land and gives you 2 mana of a color. But I mean, I don't think then you lose the benefit of a 4/4 for 3. Then it's a 4/4 for 3, not on turn 3 that, like, you know. Sweet card. But you probably want to be mono green or damn close to it to play it in draft. It loses a lot of its luster if it doesn't come out early. I mean, it's still good if you can get it out on turn 5, but it's not going to be backbreaking. Realm Walker, green and 2 for a 2/3 shapeshifter. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. You can cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be amazing. You need to have a decent amount of, you know, you be a changeling deck or have a decent amount of a tribe. You'll probably have, I don't know, maybe let's say you have 6 hits when you play it in a, you know, 25, 30 card deck. Like, you can't block with it or it's just going to die. So it's like it plays as an enchantment because you can't really get it into combat. Turn you play it, you probably don't have mana left to cast anything. But it is a changeling if you need creature types. I mean, I'm not loving it. If you have a lot of elves or something, I think it could be great and constructed. I find it hard to believe it's going to be amazing. And it's not no fucking Beast Whisperer or whatever, you know? It ain't nothing like that. It might look kind of like it, but I don't think it is. Alright, this stupid thing. Toski, Bearer of Secrets. A green and 3. Can you name Snow? No, I don't think. Toski, Bearer of Secrets. Green and 3. 1/1. It's a legendary squirrel. This spell can't be countered. Indestructible. Attacks each combat if able. Whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, draw a card. I think this thing's not good at all. I don't like it. I think it's bad. I mean, there have been so many 4-mana blue cards that say, like, whenever your creature deals damage, draw a card. Like, they've never been good in recent years. They haven't been good in forever. I mean, this thing does make something sit back to block it every turn. Maybe if you equip it or something, it's better. Maybe it's good in equipment deck. I don't know. I'm not liking it, though. It does make them keep a creature back, though, to block this thing. So, I don't know. I don't like it, but I could see it being better than it could easily be better than I think, because I don't think it's very good. But I'll be surprised if it ends up being like an early pick. Battle Mammoth. Green 3 for a 6/5 trample. You can also foretell it for green 2. When a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or an ability, you may draw a card. Well, this card's pretty awesome. They basically need to kill it in combat. So if you get this thing, I think some pump spells would go up in value for sure. I mean, they can kill it with a spell, but then you're gonna draw a card, at least. I like this one. Esika, God of the Tree. Green 1. Vigilance. 1/4. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. That's basically what it does, I think. Other legendary creatures you control also have that ability. It has another side. It is a mana of every color. The Prismatic Bridge. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker card. Put that card onto the battlefield and rest in the bottom of your orders. I mean, that's good. You can cast it. This is going to be a good card in the, you know, rampy, snowy, multicolored green decks. A 1/4 Vigilance for 3 that gives you a mana. And then once in a blue moon, late in the game, you'll have everything and you can play the enchantment. You know? Seems good. Here it is, this Tyvar thing. Half the cards in the set have talked about Tyvar. Here he is, finally. A mythic, nonetheless. So, it'll never matter. Tyvar Kell. Green 2. Planeswalker. 3 loyalty. Elves you control have tapped to add a black. Could matter, I guess. +1. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target elf. Untap it, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. Not great. 0. Create a 1/1 elf warrior creature token. Also not great. -6. You get an emblem with whenever you cast an elf spell, it gains haste until end of turn. You draw 2 cards. Well, I've always said limited would be better without planeswalkers, so good. This is basically nothing. I mean, I guess you can play it, make a 1/1 every turn or something. Tyvar Kell. Piss. Vorinclex Monstrous Raider. Green 4 for a 6/6 trample haste. Pretty good so far. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those counters on that permanent or player. There's been like nothing that does that. If an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, they put it in. Okay, so 6/6 trample haste for 6. I mean, good. Nothing super good about it though, really, I don't think. Seems fine. Oh, stop sagas? Okay, okay. Fair enough on that, I guess. Yeah, okay. That makes it better. I mean, I'm already okay with a 6/6 haste trample for 6. Yeah, okay. It does something then. Alright, I need the artifacts now. Enos might have fallen asleep. C for colorless I can try. Alright, I'll do his link. So these are artifacts. This says only 13 cards. Somebody said there were like 70. Are you sure this is right? Because it says 13 cards. They lied? Oh, and enchantments. I've already done the enchantments because they were colored. Okay. So I'm actually at the home stretch. Well, then the lands. Are there any special lands? Mystero King, thank you for the subscription. Maestro, probably. I mean, I know the dual land, I mean, whatever, but I'm not going to review every dual land or whatever separately. Okay, on to the artifacts for now. We have the Funeral Longboat, 2-mana vehicle. It's a 3/3 Vigilance, Crew 1. I think it's bad. Yeah, it doesn't seem good to me. Gold Vein Pick, 2 mana. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. It's an equipment. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, and it equips for 1 mana. If you get enough runes, this is probably pretty good if you get some runes to make it a little bit better. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty bad, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm off this already. Yeah, to a player. The Raiders Carve, 3 mana vehicle, 4/4. Whenever it attacks, a cruise for 3. Whenever it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. This one I'm less sure sucks. I'm less sure about it. I mean, a 4/4, it can at least attack a lot better than a 3/3 can. Like a 3/3 for 2 vehicle seemed awful. Oh, crew 3 is a lot. I mean, this is impactful. It's probably a bad rate, but it's at least impactful. I don't think this is that bad. It's not the kind of card I like. But, like, you know, your opponent puts this longboat out and you're kind of like chuckling at him, you know, a little bit maybe. Like, this thing's a bit scarier to me. We'll see. I don't know. To me, this is... It hits pretty hard. You might get a... I guess you only look at one card for the land. I don't know. I think it's okay. Raven Wing. I mean, I don't want to just sit and call every equipment and every vehicle terrible, you know? Like, from what I've seen, that card is better than the other ones, at least. Raven Wings, 2 mana, equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+0, has flying, and is a bird. Equipped for 2. So, yeah, I mean, you get +1/+0 and flying, and better than just getting flying, like you do on some of these things. Yeah, this is nice with boast things. This card's probably pretty decent. It seems okay. It's a bit expensive, but... Oh, it is. I agree. I don't know. Scorn Effigy, 3 mana. Foretell 0. So you can... Okay, so it's just a 2/3 for 3. Or you can pay 2 and then free spell it the next turn. I think it's bad. Maybe this is good in the 2 spell a turn deck. Maybe. But it's a bad spell. I don't like it still. But if you have good enough stuff in that deck, then sure. Good enough triggers, then maybe. But yeah, I don't like it. Bloodline Pretender, 3 mana, 2/2 changeling. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever another creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on the Pretender. I don't think it's very good at all. 2/2 for 3 that might grow. I mean, you can probably get it to be a 3/3 for 3 on the next turn, knowing what you'll play. You don't get to block with it the turn it comes into play, and then you have a 3/3 for 3. That's like your big upside. It goes on this. Yeah, if it got to go on the creature that entered, maybe it's fine. At worst, I agree with that Ranger Alpha, except the fact that it's a 2/2 on defense the first turn. Also, at worst, if you draw it late in the game, it's a 2/2 for 3 when you don't have any cards in your hand. No, I don't think it's any good at all. I hate it. Colossal Plow, I don't know how to rate this thing. Crew 6, 2 mana, 6/3. And it does something when you attack with it. You gain some life or something. Goes with the Ox. I don't know if you play it without the Ox. Seems like you don't play it without the Ox. I don't know. Replicating Ring. 3 mana snow artifact. I think this is what people kept talking about, the ring. Or no, they were talking about the crown. I don't know. Anyways, I haven't seen either of these. 3 mana snow artifact. Tap, add a mana of any color. Well, that's nice. Already, snow mana. And a snow permanent. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a night counter on the ring. Then if it has 8 or more night counters on it, remove all of them. Create an 8/8 and create 8 colorless snow artifact rings that tap for mana. Not a big deal on that. I think that's a good card. Snow Manolith. Piss. I think this is good, unless you were talking about the last card. Runed Crown. 3 mana artifact equipment. When Rune Crown enters the battlefield, you may search your library, hand, or graveyard for a rune card and put it onto the battlefield attached to the crown. I like the sound of that. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. Shocker. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and equips for 2. I'm unimpressed. That was a big letdown. 3 mana to cast this thing. You got to have a couple of runes in your deck, or else you risk this being a 3 mana +1/+1 equip 2. Yeah, I'm off of this one. It's a cantrip? I mean, yeah, for the rune, I guess you get the rune. True. True. Because the rune's going to draw you the card. I'm trying to process it. I mean, 3 mana, you play it. The rune comes on it for free, I guess. Yeah. So then creature's going to get +1/+1 in lifelink or death. Alright, it's pretty good. I think I like it. Yeah, I think I like it. You do need 2 runes, I think. Yeah, I think I like it. Also, if you have 2 different runes, you kind of pick and choose what you get, potentially. It seems alright. Weathered Rune Stone, 2 mana artifact. Non-land permanents in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells, la-di-da. I'm assuming this is not for limited. Cosmos Elixir, 4 mana. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card if your life total is greater than your starting life total. Otherwise, gain 2 life. I don't like this card. I saw it reviewed before and I was unimpressed. You like it? Core, do you like the elixir? Then I could be wrong. I thought it was poo. I'll say then, in a white deck I might like it. But I don't think I'm going to like it that much otherwise. So, some dissension here. I'm unimpressed in my mind by this card. We'll have to see. Maskwood Nexus, 4 mana artifact. Oh yeah, I saw this one reviewed too. Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. 3 mana, create a 2/2 shapeshifter with changeling. Birthing bows, I guess, with some upside. I think you have to play with this to see if the format's the right speed for it, but I think this is good. I'm going to guess that this is good, and the format's not too fast for it. Now, I did the gold cards first. Well, actually, I did the gold uncommons first, then I did white, then I went back and did the other gold cards. This is the very tail end. I've been doing this for over 4 hours. Pyre of Heroes, 2 mana, artifact, 2 tap, sack a creature, search your library for a creature card. Oh god, this thing's no good. It shares a creature type with the sacrifice. Just don't play this. I don't want to read the whole thing. Bad. That's the last one. I don't want to end like that. Alright, lands. Fine, I'll do the lands. I don't want to end when I don't even read that card, but like... I'm not going to talk about these snow duels. Some might be better than others based on the colors of snow. You'll know when you want them. They're probably high picks, though. Shimmerdrift Veil. Enters tapped. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Adamant. So it's basically a snow, like, Terramorphic Expanse type card that you don't sack. Certainly very good. Also note that in these snow decks, there have been some five color payoff things randomly tossed in. You pick up a couple of these, you might not have to play that off-color basic or something, you know, that you don't want to play to have a chance to crack them. I think it's very good. I don't think it's great if you're not in a snow deck. I mean, it's okay. You can play it as fixing, I guess, but this is just another duel. Same. Alright, here's... Oh, these lands. Yeah, there are cycle lands. It's good to talk about these for sure. Alright. Axgard Armory is a land. It's the white-red land. It's going to come in tapped. It's going to add a white mana. So, you're thinking about this as a tapped plains with upside, basically. White, red, 1 in tap. Sack it. Search your library for an aura card and equipment card. Reveal them, put them into your hand. And/or, that's pretty cool. And shuffle. So I think this one's pretty damn good. Specifically, with the +3/+0 trample equipment, I think that's a nice one to get because you're already going to have a decent amount of lands at this point in the game when you ever go to sack it. And, like, that's an impactful card that's kind of expensive to equip. Yeah, you can go find your removal with this one. People are saying, like, the arrest card or whatever. Yeah, you have to pay that and tap it, I know. But by the time... You're not trying to race to do this. Like, that's not... You want to do this after you've cast every card in your hand. This is the last thing you do. It almost doesn't matter what the casting cost is to do it. It's just the last thing you do is this. And I think this was a good one. So I like that one. Here we have Bredegard Stronghold. It's going to be the green tap land. White, green, and tap. Sack it. Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. They gain Vigilance and Lifelink until end of turn. This also seems awesome. And this one, maybe even you might do before you cast all of your cards. If it enables a good attack with Lifelink one turn. I think this one's quite good. Quite good. Gates of Istfell. This is going to be a white tap land. So there's 2 white tap lands. Is that? I mean, are there going to be 2 of every color? I don't know. Anyways, or I don't know. I don't know how that works. This is a white tap land. So it's blue, white, and 2. You sacrifice it, gain 2 life, and draw 2 cards. It's good. I actually kind of like it less than the other ones. I mean, you're drawing 2 random cards. It costs more. Like the red-white one, you're getting 2 spells. This green one, you're getting a hell of an attack, probably with lifelink and 2 +1/+1 counters. And both of those cost less. So, while it's good, I think it's worse than the other ones. You know, just it's 2 random cards. Here we have a tap red land. It is green-red land. Green, red, and 3. So you have to have this and 6 other lands. Sacrifice it, destroy a land, create a 4/4. So if you're ramping, you might get to kill the opponent's special land before they sack it. Otherwise, it makes a 4/4. Obviously, it's fine. I think it's on the lower end. For me, on the lower end of what I've seen so far. I mean, yeah, you can do it as an instant, but it's hardly an ambush unless your opponent's blind. It's on the battlefield. It's tough for something to be an ambush when they see it on your board. You might can ambush little Timmy at Friday Night Magic if that's still a thing. Fucking hide it under your mountain or something and sneak it out on him. Hope his mom don't come and slap you upside the head. It's an ambush on Arena. Here we have a black one. Great Hall of Starnheim enters tap for a black. It's the white-black land. White-black tap. Sacrifice Great Hall of Starnheim and a creature you control. Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Activate this only when you could activate a sorcery. This might be my least favorite one, even worse than the green-red in my opinion. I'm not big on this one. It's fine. The worse creature you have lying around, the better it's going to be. But, like, you don't want to, like, Ravenous Rat somebody and then, like, sack this land on turn 4 to make an angel. Like, you don't want to sack this still until you've cast most of your cards. So the fact that it is cheap is deceptively not any better. Like, you don't want to just sack your land right away. To, like, basically give your 1/1 +3/+3 and flying. And not even have haste, because you're sacking it and putting a token in. I dislike this one, honestly. You have to have something lying around late in the game. You don't want to do it early. I mean, obviously you played. It's basically free to play. But, you know, I'm not wild about it. Yeah, I'm rating them in regards to each other. Like, I mean, it's you don't want to do it early even though it's cheap. You know, this you can't do early because it's expensive, but this you don't have to lose a creature to make a 4/4. This you still have to lose a creature. I mean, these two seem the worst to me so far. I don't know which one I like least. Here we have Immerstrom Skullcarn. It's a black tap land again. It's black and red. Red, black 1. And tap. Sack it. It deals 3 damage to target player. That player discards a card. Activate this only when you can do a sorcery. I mean, it's good. It finishes the game sometimes. It's probably worse than the other ones, though. I think this one would be better for Constructed. Like, I don't know that you'd play many of the other ones in Constructed. Like, I like the fact... Like, they can't go to 3 against your red-black deck if you're aggressive. I like the card. But I think it's probably worse than most of the other ones. This one is like... I can also just kind of get their last card. I mean, it's 4 and tap. So, like, when they have their last card... this might be more annoying to play against than just the 3 damage. Not to mention, just the 3 damage is, like, a pretty good amount for a land to deal. Alright, on to this one. Litjara Mirror Lake. It is a blue tap land. It's the blue-green. Blue-green 2 in tap. Sacrifice. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Well, this one's awesome. You have to have something on board, but I mean... like, this is what I mean. Like, this seems so much better than one where you have to, like, sacrifice or something, you know? I like this one a lot. I do think no, it should. You do need kind of double blue to do it. So it's not like the green deck can splash it very easily. Yeah, I like Port of Carfell, the other blue tap land. This is blue-black. This is black, black, blue, and 3 tap sack. Expensive. Mill 4 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Certainly very good. Expensive, but you'll probably get... It's basically like that red-green one, except it's probably not in ramp colors. And you'll get a better card. You don't get to kill a land as well, but you'll probably get something better than a 4/4. Yeah, you don't have to play this as a sorcery. The other one you might have, I don't remember. It's good. All of them are good. They're lands. They're all good. Skemfair Elder Hall is a green tap land. Green, black, black, 2 tap sack. Up to 1 target creature you don't control gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Create 2 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. This one doesn't excite me. I'm sure it's fine. But, 5 and tap, you're going to want to have all your big stuff out of your hand before you lose your land in green-black. You're given something -2/-2 as a sorcery. Can't be used in combat. Maybe it doesn't kill anything, and you get 2 1/1s. This one is probably my least favorite. Surtland Frostpire. This is a tap red land, and it's blue-red. Red, blue, blue, 2 in sack. Scry 2, it deals 2 to each creature, and this is a sorcery. I'm not wild about this one either. A 6 mana, basically, Pyroclasm that they see coming. I'm sure it's okay against some decks. This one is kind of sick. You like this? What do you mean? I don't like this much. You guys are making jokes or something, I think. I don't know. It's certainly fine, but I think it's one of the worst of these lands, is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to compare them to each other. I don't know. Here we have this, whatever this is. Oh, these are just the other double face lands. Now, here's something. Faceless Haven. It's a snow land. It taps for a colorless. 3 snow mana. And it becomes a 4/3 with vigilance and all creature types. It's a snow land. It's fine. You can play it in your snow deck. I don't know how often you'll... it's good, I guess. It's probably pretty good. And then this is another pathway. The World Tree. Enters tapped. Adds a green. As long as you control 6 or more lands you control add a minute color. That's pretty sick. The World Tree's nasty. If you ever get a bunch of mana, you can find gods, which probably won't do anything. World Tree's nice. Tyrant Sanctum, last card. Colorless land. 2 and tap. Target legendary creature becomes a god. Put a 1/1 counter on it. Probably won't come up much, huh? 4 tap sack. Put an indestructible counter on a god. I don't think you're going to pick this high. That's a nice ending there.
He's a real big dude.